Mariana Lopez, good evening. How are you today?
Hello, good evening. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. As you may know, today is Friday, so today we have a lot to do. Let's wait for your classmates. Thank you very much. Luciana Perez, welcome to today's class. How are you?
Hi, teacher. I'm fine, thanks. And you?
I cannot complain. Today is Friday, but we have to work a lot today because we only have 3 more classes. So let's see how we can advance today. Okay, I will try not to go fast, but I cannot begin until your classmates connect. So let's give them 3 more minutes. Thank you for being present. Okay. Dolly Claros, welcome. How are you today?
Hi, good evening. Good, thanks.
Very good. Thank you for being present. We are waiting for your classmates. Today, it's going to be a very busy day. So let's just pay attention, follow instructions, and everything is going to go smooth. I will try not to go really fast, but we have to work a lot today. Let's see who arrived. Alison Lara, welcome. How are you today?
Hi, Mr. Zulueta. My day was fine, a little busy.
As always, right?
Yes.
Okay, I was telling your classmates that today is going to be a busy day, so I'll try not to go as fast as I think I'm going to give the class. I'm really I'm in a hurry because I think we are running out of time, but with your help, everything is going to go smooth. So let's just give 1 more minute so that your classmates can connect. Thank you for being present. Oscar, welcome to today's class. Thank you for being present. We are waiting for your classmates, okay?
Okay, thank you.
How's your day been?
Good. I went to the doctor for not for me, for other people.
Okay, I hope everything is okay. My prayers are with you, my brother.
Yes, all is fine.
Good.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, so it's 5:45, February 26th. Today is Friday. Today, we begin our last unit, and we have 2 days, only today and Monday to finish it. Today, we're going to look half of the topic of the activities, And on Monday, we are going to do the reading, the writing, and the quiz. Then on Tuesday, we're going to have our conversation section. And on the last day, we have to do the famous Modul C test. It's a little bit long, but I believe we have time since that's all we are going to do on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, February 3rd, on our last day. So that's the test grade, which we will have to do in 1 hour and 20 minutes. I am pretty sure that most of you are going to take less time, but let's not what's that word? Let's not predict the future. That's another way to say it. Okay, so let's begin. Today we have our last unit. Its name is Just Being Honest. I already went through it, and half of this unit is basically a review from your phrasal verbs, from your causative sentences. So for that reason, let me read the learning objectives for this unit. Okay, here it is. The learning objectives. We have listening, speaking, grammar, pronunciation, reading, vocabulary, and writing. I usually have you guys read them, but for today I will read them and quickly go over them. So for the listening goal, we have predict topics of conversations. Okay, so we are going to predict, for example, on the videos, which is part of the listening skill, we are going to predict what will Dave do, or will he be in the video. Of course, we are taking into account all the videos and all the cases that we saw on Module C, okay? Remember that on the last unit, we became Sherlock Holmes detectives, okay? Because somebody try to frame a friend, okay? Remember that frame is to set up. So we are going to predict topics, listen for specific information about events in people's lives. Okay, so we are looking for specific verbs, well, we are learning to contextualize ourselves to understand, okay? Remember, when speaking and listening, when you are practicing a different language, L2 language, that's how linguists say it, a foreign language, sometimes you might not understand all the given information. Therefore, you must be smart, intelligent, okay? So things that will help you is to read the body language, try to listen to intonation. For example, when somebody stresses a word, okay, that gives a lot of information, okay? So that's part of the language learning. Now we have listen for main ideas about people's relationships. So we are talking about relationships and events for this occasion, okay? Then we have listen to key ideas, but where? In short testimonial speeches. So this is from the last unit, okay? So we are going to listen how this person was able to overcome a manipulation, a frame setup situation, okay? So he was innocent. Then we have speaking, talking about intentions, talking about plans, wishing someone luck, asking for future updates, okay? Grammar, that's what we are going to pay more attention today. As I mentioned, we are going to take a look at adjective clauses. It's a review. We are going to take a look at auxiliary verbs for emphasis, okay? This is basically when somebody replies to a question such as, I guess you were right yesterday. And the other person replies, I was correct. Okay, so in this case, the verb that I use, the auxiliary verb that I use is the verb to be, but you'll learn that there are more. And so it's just to emphasize, is to give, remember, it's not what you say, but how you say it. Okay, to emphasize is to remark what you are trying to say, or maybe to agree with the person, okay? So we'll take a look at that. Let me see who just arrived. That will be Andres Garcia. Welcome to today's class, Andres. Andres, thank you for being present. I am going over the learning objectives for this last unit, which we have today and Monday to finish it, okay? Okay, going back to the grammar, we are also going to review phrasal verbs. Okay, so you are masters of this subject topic, I believe, and I know so. Pronunciation, okay, we're going to emphasize phrasal verbs, and we're going to take a look at some words followed by the R sound, okay? For the reading and writing, for example, we have getting the meaning from context, very important, and then understanding main ideas and details, okay? Keywords, key verbs, perhaps words that are highlighted, words that are in bold. The title is also important. It can give us information. Drawings can give us information as well on a reading. For the writing, okay, we're going to learn techniques on taking notes. We are going to write summary reviews of classic films. Okay, we're going to take a look at how some movies end. Remember, when I was in high school learning English, a typical or similar task was this: try to write a different ending for the story or for the movie. Okay, it's very interesting. And the skill that we are going to improve is to summarize main ideas. Okay, so those are the learning objectives for this last unit, and the name is Just Being Honest. I found out that going through the unit summary, is interesting, helpful, okay? So what's the summary for the video listening? So you're going to watch a video and answer the questions about information and ideas in it. Learn more about body language. That's what I mentioned before, and other cultural aspects, okay? Remember, maybe for Italians, the body expression from Bolivians or Mexican is not the same, and we have to take that into account because sometimes it can be something negative. What's the summary for the vocabulary section? Well, learn the meanings and usage of these phrasal verbs with break. So these are the phrasal verbs that we are going to concentrate, or that you are going to work on your activities. These are to break a habit. That sounds easy. To break a habit is to think out of the square. Remember, a habit is like a routine. So to break a habit is to do something different, okay? Break the law. It's when you commit a crime, basically. Okay, that's what that phrasal verb means. Then we have break a promise. Very easy. Don't break a promise, okay? Because you'll break somebody's heart. And I believe that's right here, break somebody's heart if you break a promise. Break a record, okay? We see these every time on the Olympics. Break a story. I really don't know what exactly break a story means. And we have a glossary for that on the reading section. So I will pop it up for you so that we can understand what to break a story is. Break a sweat, I don't want to guess either, so we'll take a look at in the index guide. Break new ground, I don't want to make a guess, so break new ground, maybe to try something different. Then we have break somebody's heart, okay? Break the ice, this is what I did with you on the first section, on the first class, by introducing myself and getting to know you. Break the news to somebody, a tattletale, un chismoso, maybe. So to say the news, right? To mention what happened. So that's the vocabulary. Now for the speaking, what's the summary? Okay, learn expressions you can use to, okay, talk about intentions using I plus the auxiliary verb be. I've been, meaning to call you. Okay. Then we have talk about plans. What are you planning to do? Okay, so you'll talk about the future but the question is in present progressive. What are you planning to do? Okay. Wish someone luck. I'm sure everything will work out. Okay. Then ask for future updates. So we can learn this phrase, keep me posted, keep me updated, okay? Grammar. We have learned to express yourself using adjective clauses, okay? We review that on our last unit, therefore it is a review, okay? And expansion, because we are going to introduce when and where. For example, that is the restaurant I used to go when I was in high school, okay? Well, the example here we have, is Talia Santos the reporter who broke the story? Okay, for this one we used who, but we are going to introduce where and when. Auxiliary verbs for emphasis, remember emphasis, okay? It does, okay? This is the auxiliary verb in which when you speak, this is a speaking drill basically, because in grammar, when you write it, you really do not know if you're trying to emphasize that auxiliary verbs, okay? But we'll learn more about that. So I can read it in two ways. It does seem like yesterday, or it does seem like yesterday, okay? So this is agreeing to somebody who mentioned something similar. For example, okay, the weather. Perhaps I tell Juan, oh my God, it kind of looked like yesterday, so windy and cloudy. And I reply, it does seem like yesterday. Okay, it's like remarking, it's like saying, y sí se ve como ayer, okay? Okay, and we have a review on phrasal verbs, okay? Things have worked out for you. So here's the phrasal verb, okay? To work out, okay? Task listening, listen to the speeches given at a party for Talia, match the quotes with the correct person. That sounds easy. Pronunciation, okay? We're continuing with stressing the phrasal verb. For example, Amy called up. Amy called me up. Amy called me up, okay? I just This is where we make stress. Okay, we say it louder. I just found out the news. And we are also working on the R sound, for example, in work, perfect, care, here. As you heard, we are stressing the previous syllable, okay? And that's what we are working on. That's what we are working on. For the reading, which is on Monday, reading and writing. Reading, we're going to read an article about ending movies. That's going to be interesting, okay? And so I guess the paragraph, the article is from a web, or the title is on the web. So we have research classic films. I'll do that for you. That way we won't waste much time. And we are going to summarize reviews of a classic film. So this is going to be interesting as well, okay? So let me close this. So we went over learning objectives and the unit summary. So now we know what's coming. Let me introduce you all the grammar sections. So we have 1 and 2 activities. We have a second grammar explanation and 2 activities. So we have 2 so far. And we have a third explanation of phrasal verbs. 2 of them are review, okay, because you know them. What's going to be new, I believe, is going to be the auxiliary verb for emphasizing or stressing. Now, let's take a moment to listen to the explanation. We have 3 explanations.
Hi, it's Emily. We're almost at the end of the course. This is a time when you can look back and feel good about how much you've learned. It's also a good time to review. The grammar point that we're going to review today is adjective clauses. Did you recognize the adjective clauses that I just used?
Okay, adjective clauses, it's a review. Remember, adjective clauses, we went over using when. Well, today we're going to introduce when and where, but we've looked already the following adjective clauses: that, which, and who, and if you want to be formal, whom. Let's continue.
Adjective clauses, also called relative clauses, often begin with a relative pronoun. The relative pronoun can be the subject or object of the adjective clause.
Is Talia Santos the reporter who broke the story?
In this example, the relative pronoun who is the subject of the adjective clause.
Yes, she's the one that I worked with.
In this example, the relative pronoun that is the object of the adjective clause. We can use the relative pronouns who or that for a person.
Talia's the person who did the most to help me.
Or,
Talia's the person that did the most to help me.
we sometimes use whom for a person when the relative pronoun is the object of the clause. Whom is very formal.
This year, the Most Valuable Player Award goes to an athlete whom we all admire.
A quien, al cual, todos admiramos.
We can use the relative pronouns that or which for a thing.
I turned down the job offer that I got at Newsbeat.
Or,
I turned down the job offer which I got at Newsbeat.
that is more common than which in informal conversation. We use where in adjective clauses that describe a place.
Is there some place where we can go for a few minutes?
The adjective clause, where we can go for a few minutes, describes some
so
place.
this is the new one that I was talking about, where and when. Of course, where is for a place, a location, and when, okay, or that, we can use it for a time, and that's on number 5. But when, we can use it for, yes, a time in which something special happened. Okay, so let's listen to number 5.
We use when or that in adjective clauses that describe a time.
It seems like it was just yesterday when you asked me to turn up the volume.
Or,
it seems like it was just yesterday that you asked me to turn up the volume.
the adjective clause when you asked me to turn up the volume, or that you asked me to turn up the volume, describes yesterday. In adjective clauses, we often leave out the object relative pronoun. We also leave out when or that in adjective clauses that describe a time. This is very common in informal conversation and writing.
There's something I need to discuss with you.
It's hard to find a time we can talk.
We can't leave out where.
That's the juice bar where Nick Crawford liked to go.
Very simple. You can leave out when or that, but never where. When you are talking about a location, make sure you add where. For example, you should never say, "That's the juice bar Nick Crawford liked to go." The correct form would be, "That's the juice bar where Nick Crawford liked to go." Okay? Okay, so that's the explanation for the first topic, the first out of 3 topics, and this was a review. Now let's continue with the second topic. Okay, so what is when something, or when, how, and why do we emphasize auxiliary verbs or words when speaking, okay? So let's listen to our grammar coach.
Hello, how are you? The grammar point we're going to study now is using the auxiliary verb for emphasis. I do think you'll find it very useful. Let's begin.
Okay, so what's the difference between I think you'll find it interesting and I do think you'll find it interesting? Well, she's emphasizing and she's being, she knows that it's going to be interesting, okay? So that shows that she's basically, she knows so because she, well, what I'm trying to say is that she's showing that she's being secure. That's the word, okay? She's being secure. She knows, that's why she emphasizes it. Now let's go with number 1, auxiliary verbs that are emphasized or that uses emphasis.
We often use auxiliary verbs for emphasis, to give something special importance. Auxiliary verbs include the verbs do, be, and have, and modals like can, could, should, and will.
A lot of people didn't believe Nick, but he was telling the truth.
Okay, remember on my introduction, or well, when I was reading the summary, I told you that we have some auxiliary verbs such as have or the verb to be, but that there are going to be more and that we would learn them. Well, here they are: do, be, have, and modals. Can, could, should, will. Remember, can is for a physical possibility. Could is for the past of something that is able to be done. Should, basically for giving an advice. Will, it's the future. Okay? Now let's continue with number 2.
If the sentence already has an auxiliary verb, we emphasize it by putting more stress on it when we speak. When we put stress on a word, we make it longer and stronger.
Hey, Nick, you should see this commercial.
I have seen it.
Did you know that Talia was offered a job in Chicago?
No, I didn't know that.
Okay, so this explanation made me remember when I was in high school, for example, and when I was talking to my female friends. By the way, if you want, in the northern part of the United States, people would call boyfriend or girlfriend to mean that he or she is talking about a friend who is female or male. But in the southern states, boyfriend and girlfriend means what we all know, which is basically a person you love, okay? Your couple, okay? So when somebody would tell me, when a friend would tell me, for example, have you seen the teacher making the same mistakes over and over? And I would reply, I have. You see how I don't need to state more by just saying I have and stressing, making that auxiliary verb in this case by making it sound longer and louder. Okay, I am basically agreeing, and this also goes to what I mentioned earlier. It's not what you say, but how you say it. And furthermore, you cannot understand the same meaning by using the stress sound in the writing, because it's impossible basically, okay? So that's why this is a speaking drill more than a grammar, okay? Now, let's go with number 3.
If the sentence does not have an auxiliary verb, we use the auxiliary do, does, or did for emphasis. Notice that the base form of the verb always follows do, does, or did.
Too bad you don't like soccer.
I do like soccer.
It seems like just yesterday.
It does seem like yesterday. I guess things worked out for Jackie.
And for you too. You did score the winning goal.
Remember, for situations or whenever you are using all the other verbs except the verb to be, remember that the verb to be means 3 basic things in Spanish: ser, estar o tener. Tener circunstancialmente, es decir, edad o una enfermedad, porque no puedes utilizar el verbo to be para decir yo tengo un burro, porque sería I am a donkey, y eso es otra cosa. Entonces, para todos los otros verbos vas a utilizar do, y bueno, en su forma que tú quieras. Recuerda, si es en tercera persona en singular. Why am I talking in Spanish? Sorry. Remember, if it's in if it's a third person, singular third person, use it with the S. And if you want to talk about the past, use it with did. Okay? And well, remember, emphasizing is just trying to agree with somebody else. Number 4.
If the main verb in the sentence is be, we can emphasize it in the same way.
Nick was innocent.
Okay, so it's not only to agree, but also to let everybody know that you are saying the truth or that you are being honest. Okay, good. Let's go. Let's continue. Number 5.
We emphasize things for many different reasons. One reason is to agree with something someone has said.
It seems like it was just yesterday when you asked me to turn up the volume.
Yeah, in a way it does seem like just yesterday.
We also use emphasis when we disagree with something.
It's too bad that Talia is moving to Chicago.
She isn't moving to Chicago. She's staying at Newsline.
Okay, guys, so that was the explanation for emphasizing using auxiliaries or verbs as to the verb to be or the verb to do. Well, using the auxiliary verb do in this case. Now let's go to the last explanation of the day, and basically for the course. Okay, so this is the last explanation of the course. And it's a review, phrasal verbs, something that you've mastered already.
Hi, I'm so happy everything has worked out so well. Talia's and Amy's hard work has paid off. Both of them have new jobs. And Nick may not have won the championship, but it seems that he's won Talia over. Phrasal verbs like work out, pay off, and win over are so important in English. Let's review them.
Okay, in the introduction, I can see that there are different types of phrasal verbs, such as phrasal verbs that are connected, they go together basically, and some phrasal verbs in which you can add the subject and then the second part of the phrasal verb. Okay, Juan, Talia, over. Let's take a look at that.
Phrasal verbs are verbs that have two parts, a verb plus a particle. Turn out is a phrasal verb. Turn is the verb. Out is the particle. The particle looks just like a preposition, but it is actually one part of this two-part verb. The particle often changes the meaning of the verb.
Let me know how things turn out.
In the example, turn out means have a particular result. As you can see, the verb turn plus the particle out has a completely different meaning from the verb turn by itself.
Okay, so we use turn out as when you want to refer how did something came out, how did something come out, how did something result, okay? So if a student had a math test yesterday, I can ask her today, how did the math exam turn out? ¿Cómo salió el examen? What was the result, okay? And why do we use phrasal verbs? Why do we use them? Well, sometimes it is shorter to use them in speaking in an informal manner. At least in America, they rather use phrasal verbs than the formal way of saying something. You'll see that on the next numbers. Now let's continue with the grammar explanation.
Some phrasal verbs are inseparable. This means that the two parts, verb and particle, always stay together. When an inseparable phrasal verb has an object, the object always comes after the two parts of the verb.
What do you think of the commercial?
What do I think of it? I think it's ridiculous.
In the conversation, the noun, the commercial, and the pronoun it are objects of the verb think of. Both noun and pronoun objects always come after an inseparable phrasal verb.
Well, what we just heard is basically never say, what do I think it of? It sounds wrong. It doesn't make sense. So what we ought to do, that's my favorite one. What we ought to do is to always use it at the end to refer to what was said. The correct way would be, what do I think of it? What do I think of it? That's the correct way. Now, number 3.
Some phrasal verbs are used with certain prepositions when they have an object. We sometimes call these combinations three-part verbs. Three-part verbs are inseparable.
Things have worked out for you, Nick.
The phrasal verb work out means stop being a problem. We use it with the preposition for when there is an object. We don't use the preposition when there is no object.
Yes, they have worked out.
Okay, so for this phrasal verb, work out means to stop being a problem. Okay, so how did your relation work out? How did your relationship work out? Okay, in theory, I am saying this because I know that you had some problems, some issues, but you overcame the obstacle. You cope with your partner, with your boyfriend, out with a solution, came out. That's a phrasal verb. Number 4.
Many phrasal verbs are separable. This means that they can come either after or between the two parts of the verb.
I turned down the job. I turned the job down.
Okay, so you can separate certain phrasal verbs. For example, this one, I turned the job down, is the same as I turned down the job. To turn down is to cancel, okay? So if you don't want to say, I canceled the job application or the job offer that Oxford University gave me, you can say, I turned down the job offer that the Oxford University offered me. Okay, offered me. It's just playing with words, okay? Once you get the hang of it,
When the object of a separable phrasal verb is a pronoun, a word like him, her, or it must go between the verb and the particle.
Why did you turn down the job?
I turned it down because I didn't want to move.
okay, so this is the long version of what the short version could sound. For example, I turned down the job because I didn't want to move. Instead of saying the job, you can change it by just using it. So you cancel the job. I turn it down. Lo cancelé because I didn't want to move, okay? Never say, I turned down it. It doesn't make sense. It's a no-no. It's a big no-no, okay? Remember, I turned it down. Let's continue.
Remember, we use phrasal verbs a lot, especially in conversation. Phrasal verbs are often more common than their definitions. For example,
I ran into my cousin yesterday.
Is more common than
I met my cousin by accident yesterday.
Okay, so this is what I mentioned in the introduction. People usually, well, English native speakers usually prefer to speak faster using the form with the apostrophe, using phrasal verbs, okay, when they are talking and being informal. But if you want to be formal and you want to sound competent, okay, well, this is not incorrect at all. I met my cousin by accident yesterday. There's no problem with that. But if you're talking to a friend, you can just play with the phrasal verb. I ran into my cousin yesterday, okay? Okay, so we are finished. Our course has finished. There are no more explanations. All we have to do is work on the activities which, I'm using which. What is that? Okay. All you have to do is work on the activities which I am going to activate, and that's all. I explain the mission, the vision, the goals. We went over the grammar, okay? 2 of them were because we went over them already. So I will activate, here it is, 2, 4, 6 activities so far for the grammar section, okay? For the speaking role, not yet. Vocabulary, we have 2 more, so that's 8 activities. Video listening, very easy. It's just listening to the video and coming up with an answer, okay? So that'll be 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so we have 10 activities that we can work on in the second class of the class. For example, let me help you with this, okay, let me share my screen. Okay, so here's listening for information. This is the first activity for the listening. There are, I believe, 4. Okay, let me switch to student. That way you won't see the answers. Let's listen to the video and then try to answer with the correct answer, of course, or the answer that makes sense. Okay, remember, for your TOEFL, you can always use deduction. This one doesn't make sense, so I'll leave it out. I cancel it. Leave it out. Phrasal verb. Okay, so let's listen to this one. I will call out Mariana Lopez, Luciana Perez, and Alison Lara to answer this activity. Okay, let's listen.
Glitter, the perfect toothpaste with a perfect smile.
Remember, all that glitters is not gold.
Patty, could you turn the volume down?
And you were asking me to turn up the volume.
Huh?
You remember the day when you recognized Jackie Bishop on TV?
In a way, it does seem like yesterday, but a lot has happened since then.
Oh, I know. Like now you can see Jackie Bishop on TV all the time.
Yup, in all these silly commercials. Well, I guess things really worked out for her.
Seems so. And they worked out okay for you too, right? I mean, you did score the winning goal in the qualifying match.
Yes, but unfortunately we didn't make it to finals.
No, but there's always next time.
Yep, there's always next time.
By the way, you know who else I see on TV all the time? That reporter who broke the story. What's her name again? Talia something?
Talia Santos. Yeah, I heard she's been offered a job at a different news show.
You don't look very happy about it.
Well, no, now that you mention it. We've both been so busy and I haven't had a chance to see her much lately. Now it looks like she's going to be moving.
Well, Nick, if that's the case, it sounds like you need to speak to her. You don't have the luxury of waiting for the right time anymore.
You're right, Patty. It's now or never. I'll see you later.
Bye, Nick. Hey, let me know how things turn out.
Okay, I am replaying the video. This is normal, and this is what the instruction says. Whenever we have a listening or a video activity, it's best to listen to it twice. I also wrote down some words that pop up automatically on my head because, for example, I heard phrasal verbs as worked out. What was the solution? How did you came up with a positive solution? Okay, I think they were talking about the soccer championship, and then she used a stress verb. You did score the last goal of the tournament. Okay, so what's the difference between you scored the last goal and you did score the last goal? Okay, so it's emphasizing, it's making it important. Okay, and well, the other phrasal verb that I heard was turn out. Turn out the result. What was the result? So try to listen and catch keywords. Okay, let's listen to it again.
Glitter, the perfect toothpaste with a perfect smile.
Remember, all that glitters is not gold.
Patty, could you turn the volume down a little?
Oh, sure, Nick. It seems like yesterday when you were asking me to turn up the volume.
Huh?
You remember, the day when you recognized Jackie Bishop on TV.
In a way, it does seem like yesterday, but a lot has happened since then.
Oh, I know. Like now you can see Jackie Bishop on TV all the time.
Yup, and all these silly commercials. Well, I guess things really worked out for her.
Seems so. And they worked out winning goal in the qualifying match.
Yes, but unfortunately we didn't make it to finals.
No. Always next time.
Yep, there's always next time.
By the way, you know who else I see on TV all the time? That reporter who broke the story. What's her name again? Talia something?
Talia Santos. Yeah, I heard she's been offered a job at a different news show.
You don't look very happy about it.
Well, no, now that you mention it. We've both been so busy and I haven't had a chance to see her much lately. Now it looks like she's going to be moving.
Well, Nick, if that's the case, it sounds like you need to speak to her. You don't have the luxury of waiting.
You're right, Patty. It's now or never. I'll see you later.
Bye, Nick. Hey, let me know how things turn out.
Mariana Lopez, number 1, Luciana Perez, number 2, and Alison Lara, number 3. I'll give you 1 to think and read it, okay? 1 minute. I believe your microphone is off, so activate it to answer. Do you have the answer, Mariana Lopez, number 1?
At the beginning of the essay, what does Patty remind Nick about? Jackie's earlier TV appearance, the first.
Okay, so you are sure that's the correct answer, correct?
Yes.
Let's go with Luciana Perez, number 2.
Okay, what happened to Jackie after the scandal? I think she got acting work in television commercials, the second option.
Thank you. Shit. Okay, number 3.
What happened
That's
to
Alison Lara.
Nick? What happened to Nick after the scandal was cleared up? The first option, he helped his team win the final.
Because he did score the last goal. Very good. And number 4, let's start Oscaring. What happened? Number 4.
The number 1, she was offered a new job.
4. I can't hear you, Oscar, but what happened to Talia after the scandal was cleared up?
Yes, the first. She was offered
a new job. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Good, thank you. And C, what's our grade as a group? Okay, let's see. Okay, we have a 70. See which one is incorrect. Number 1 correct, number 2 correct, number 3. Okay, that's not the answer. Okay, I believe this is the correct answer. He played successfully for his team. So that's it for today, guys. I will share a screenshot so that you won't have to do it again on your personal Pearson platform. So let me take a snapshot and send it to you on WhatsApp. For the moment, that is all for today. That's all for today. All you have to do is do the activities that I am going to activate. And I will remember that on February 3rd, I have to turn in my grades. So please work on the activities and try to finish them today. But I will give you up to Monday to finish them. So here are the activities. 10 minus 1, that would be 9 activities. So here you go, assigned. Remember, if you have any questions, write me a direct message here on Zoom. Next. Okay, so Monday. So we have today, we have the weekend, and we have on Monday, because I know that you study and you guys are multitask people. So I am aware of that. And we are almost finished with the course. How many attempts? It doesn't, students the answers after. Okay, here we go. No capitalization, punctuation is needed. There's no time limit. How many attempts? Activity attempts on it, yes. Okay, here we don't have a test. That's bingo. Before you log off or before you start working, please answer my poll question for today's class. How was the class? I am launching now. Good, thank you very much. Okay, so please begin working on your activities. I will be online to help you, guide you if you have any questions. Okay, my dear students, my multitask students, the class has finished. It is now 7:20 Mexico time, 9:20 Bolivian time. It's Friday. Thank you for working as hard as you could. Please continue working. Remember, we have until Monday to finish this activity. We have to work hard, and we are almost done. I would like to wish you a great weekend. Enjoy your weekend. Have some rest. Do not go out on Sunday. And I'll see you on Monday. Thank you very much. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, teacher. Bye.
Bye.